Jake, as I mentioned earlier, deaths, unfortunately, are a lagging indicator. Our total number of cases went from 100 to 3,600, and over the last 2 weeks has declined. They have been cut in half from 3,600 to 1,800. When you wanted me to come on 3 or 4 weeks ago, you want to talk about our number of cases. And then you want to talk about our hospitalizations. Now you want to talk about a lagging indicator, which is sad. And it's
I'm trying
horrible.
to talk about dead Mississippians is what I'm trying to talk about.
All 9,000 Mississippians that have passed away.
I'm not sure what Jake Tapper wants Tate Reeves to do. I suspect I know what Jake Tapper wants Tate Reeves to do. I think he wants him to mandate the vaccine. But, you know, it sounds to me like so Tate Reeves is out there saying, look, the people have the choice. I'm encouraging them to get vaccinated. That's clearly the best prevention against the virus. And for those of you who get it, monoclonal antibodies is the answer. He's right about that.
I think Tate Reeves right there. Number one, I don't know what that, or I really don't believe Jake Tapper had an answer necessarily in mind. He was like, you are failing. What are you going to do differently? And Tate Reeves essentially, by casting aspersions, was essentially saying nothing. We're not going to do anything left and anything differently. Our cases are going down now. You know, we lost a whole lot of people. And then he started taking out some statistics out of context when, you know, Jake Tapper was saying, look, we're talking per capita. And I think there are a lot of areas where Tate Reeves is struggling as a governor. You know, Mississippi is the poorest state in the nation. It's 45th in education. It's 4th in gun violence or in gun violence related deaths. So, I mean, I think there are a lot of areas where Tate Reeves maybe thinks the idea is to do nothing and it'll fix itself.
But when he says, I mean, well, I don't think he's doing nothing. I mean, he obviously is encouraging vaccination and trying to secure monoclonal antibodies for his population. But when he cites the statistic that over these last few weeks, the number of deaths have halved, the average daily deaths have been cut in half. You know, Jake sits there and says, oh, so you're going to do nothing. I mean, it is reasonable for him to say, well, we're on a downward trajectory right now. So that is a good sign. And so we're going to keep trying to get people vaccinated and we're going to keep seeking these monoclonal antibodies, which, by the way, like I'm still struggling to understand. I don't know how closely you've been following this. I'm still struggling to understand why the Biden administration decided to cut off the supply to states like Florida and Mississippi of monoclonal antibodies. They claim that they want to distribute it across the country for equity's sake. But the reality is the need for the monoclonal antibodies is clearly in these states. So why not keep supplying them so long as the need can be met?
So here's my understanding of it. My understanding is that there are few resources right now, or there is a limited supply. So they want to ration it out to as many states as need them, not just continually give it to 2 states or 1 state, really. I mean, the big debate was Florida. Tate Reeves has decided to enter himself into that as well. And I think, you know, that's the big thing is that, you know, other states, Wyoming's going to need it, or some other state is going to need it. And there are limited supply, whereas we've got a large supply of vaccine. And again, I think that a lot of these states and their leaders were late to the party in telling people to get vaccinated. So I think at the beginning,
not Florida. Ron DeSantis has been saying it for a long time.
has been pushing, you know, certainly pushing Regeneron, which I think is a good thing. Regeneron is positive. It is 52 times more expensive than just getting vaccinated.
Right.
And as much as people try to say vaccination does not prevent infection, that's just not correct. It just doesn't prevent it in 100% of the cases.